We're live, friends and neighbors, and this is going to be the mock draft of mock drafts. We'll see if Dan and I get into some arguments or not, but this is going to be fun. We're going to explore the outer limits of what we can get done with these simulations, and we know that they are just simulations. But at the end of the day, we got to get the Chiefs what they need in order to have a successful season next season. So we're going to get started. This is RGR Football. Welcome back, everybody. I know the times are shifting around because, winter storms happen and families have things to do. How are you, Dan?
Oh, I'm settling in tonight. It's been a long day with the little one. She's been kind of a handful. And no, there won't be any appearances from her tonight. She is currently, I don't know what she's doing, but I can hear her upstairs.
That's the way that it happens. I am still in the midst of my afternoon. Had to get a kid to practice, and thankfully carpool is going to work, and we'll see what happens tonight. It's about 4 inches and counting in the last 2 hours here. So
it's April 15th.
Yeah, we quit snow about June, so it is what it is. Folks, before we get going, I want to remind you guys that you can always check out the Teespring store for us if you want to support us. But more importantly, check out the Therese Paylor Scholarship Fund over at howard.edu. Anything that you give goes towards what is earmarked for a sports journalism major in the name of Therese Paylor, and that's something that I don't want to lose sight of. So every now and then I'm going to keep bringing it up. That's just the way it's going to be. If you do want to support us, I appreciate that very much, as does Dan. You can hit the super chats and all that stuff. If you do, leave your comment. I will try to get to some questions tonight in between picks and that kind of thing. But if you really just got to have your opinion known before we make a pick, throw that super chat in there, and that way we will definitely see it. Because there's so many options going right now. I'm really kind of thrown around. Rob, snow is my enemy right now. Yeah. Oh, and Aaron checked the radar. Thanks, man. Yep. If this cuts out, it means a tree has fallen over a power line or an internet line, and I'm out of commission for a bit. We'll regroup after that. So I guess since that could happen at any time, I guess we should get into it.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. Why don't you take Spencer's question as I get this ready?
Okay. So if Zayvon Collins and Cosme / Eichenberg both available at 31, who do I take personally? Probably going to be Cosme, just because he has got bigger, a little bit longer arms. I think you're still going to be able to get a linebacker at 63. There's still some options later. It's a tough question because this is really where we don't know what the Chiefs really want to do in terms of with their arm length, what it's really going to affect, because a lot of the top tackles don't have the arm length that is considered for what the Chiefs typically like to do. So whether they want to take a gamble on a guy like Eichenberg, who has sub 33-inch arms, actually, which would be kind of an interesting thing for them to do. I'm not entirely sold on that. I like Eichenberg myself a lot because of his hands. But again, we can't really guess that the Chiefs are going to take a guy with sub 33-inch arms. But Cosme does have over 33-inch arms. I think 33 is where you start with a tackle. Under that, you're probably a guard. Or in Eichenberg's case, he might be a right tackle.
Yeah, I mean, you could see it either way. And they have generally gone for, they're not afraid of going under length, but they generally like it, and they like athleticism, and that kind of goes Cosme's way as well. I'm going to leave this in fast speed tonight so that we can get things done. And let me get that sharing. And folks, while I'm bringing this up, I do want to say that I'm getting close. Thanks to Dan picking up the slack for me this week. That has really helped. And I've gotten a lot more done on the draft guide itself. Now, the draft guide, if you guys haven't gotten it from us before, from Rogue Analytics, it's the athleticism and the production. It's basically the things that we don't see on film. And it's meant to be a companion to those film grades that you see either from us or from your favorite site or from, your favorite scout. Whatever that is, it is meant to be a supplement. It is no way meant to say that, hey, ignore people like Dane Brugler or something like that, who I spoke to the other day, and we will have Dane here on the show before the draft. So we have some things coming. We are going to get into this one tonight, though, as I'm going to click start the draft. And before it even kicks off, I am looking for you to give me an idea of what range you think if we want to get a tackle, and I think the Chiefs do. Who is it that you want to target in order to move up for?
It's got to be Darisaw. I don't think anyone else is going to fall far enough for them to be able to go get. I think that both Slater and Sewell are going to go top 10, top 12-ish area. So it's likely going to be Darisaw or it's going to be Jenkins, who are going to probably be around the 17-ish area. And that's where they're going to have to go if they're going to get one of these two guys. Okay.
So we're thinking that if we get to 16 or 17, we have a shot at Darisaw. Is that what you're thinking?
I think so.
Okay. Answer Joseph's question. Stack, thanks for your super chat. Joseph, thank you for yours. I'm going to try to see where we're going here. If you take that question, I'll set it up. The Raiders are at 17, so I'll try to go with the Cardinals. And let's see what the Cardinals want in return. So, folks, we are just playing as though this is a desperation move, as this is what has to happen. So, Joseph asked, who is the biggest reach that we might see at 30?
Walker Little. And it's not even close. I've seen it mocked multiple times. I've seen people talking about it, and that literally would be a bad idea, and it's the biggest reach you can get at 31.
I think that's crazy. I think he's a day 3 guy because of his injury. There's nothing against his play when he's on the field, but he hasn't been on the field since 18, guys. But yeah, he's being mocked to the Chiefs 31 because they just need a tackle. So they just have to have a tackle. Okay, so I'm messing around with this machine. Clearly, they will not take a third as compensation. They want a second. Are you willing to give up the second round pick in this draft, or do we have to go back to years coming?
I'm not willing to give up a second round this year.
You are not?
No, I'm not.
Okay. I'm going to throw in the second from next year and see what they do. They don't like that. They don't care. We'd have to throw in a third this year. Oh, maybe we can get by with a fourth.
I think you can get by with a fourth.
And a second next year. Are you okay with that?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay. Well, they'll even take a fifth. If they're going to do that, then that's what I'm going to give them.
I was about to say, if they're going to, if it works, it works. Do what you can.
All right. So what we're going to do here, folks, we're going to make an attempt with trading up from 31 to 16, throwing in next year's second. Not willing to give up a first for anybody in this draft, I got to tell you. Especially not having the season, not having all the things that we usually look for as keys for the evaluations. And I will throw in a fifth for this year. Let's see if they take it.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Cardinals. You have yourself an additional 2 picks. Now, this is all in the hope that somebody is there that we're looking for. We are on the clock at 16. We have quite an offer now to move back to
28.
Wow.
Oh,
they want the second as well.
Okay. No.
I don't know. We'll see. We can come back to them. We certainly aren't going to help the Steelers. I'll tell you that.
Oh, no.
But Saints will come back with, I'm going to counter this just so that it doesn't skip us, because I think that's one of the keys that happened the other night when I did this, unless it just won't let me, and then we're done. Okay, so here's where we are. Darisaw did go.
Yeah.
13, Elijah Vera Tucker. Now, this is an interesting one, because do you think Elijah Vera Tucker is a guard only?
Yeah, he's 32 and a half inch, or the 32 and a quarter or something like that. Yeah, he's to be a guard just for me. I like his tackle film, but I don't think he's going to make it.
That's my thought too. Like in a pinch, he could swing out there, but it's a disadvantage at this point. Love his play, and honestly, on production, he's better at guard as well. So, Brad Redder, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Yes,
Stacks, thanks for the second one. So kind. I don't see anybody throwing out names though. So if you guys keep super chatting, tell us who you want. That's what I want to see.
Let's see who we got on the board right now, because not only are we looking at Jenkins, who obviously we went up to get.
Right.
You could go up, to get Devontae Smith. You could get Bateman, Phillips. This is an interesting range, but I think you go up to get the tackle.
I think that's the reason, right? But I didn't expect Smith to be here.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, is if he's there, I think that gives you a lot of pause.
Right. And that's like, oh, hold on, we got to reevaluate. Which is funny, because this board is falling exactly how I have them stacked on my board right now. Now, my board isn't final, folks. You get that the week before the draft, and Dan's going to do one too, I think. But this went Chase, then Waddle, and then Smith would be 3. That's how I have them ranked right now. So definitely a surprise, but worth looking at. Jalen Phillips is a good player. Is he better than Azeez Ojulari? Not right now, in my opinion. And he's got a significant concussion history, so that makes me nervous. I wouldn't take him. You do in general.
In general, like if we're talking about tape to tape, I think he's a better player. But again, you're 100% correct about the medical issues. Also, the just up and quitting football before, before it was even getting started is a little bit of a hesitation for me. So at 17 or 16, probably not.
And as all you Chiefs fans know, once you start getting concussions, it is easier to get them again. This is what happened with Mitch Morse, who missed time last year with concussions still. So that is a big red flag for me. I don't know if the Chiefs will feel that way, but Eric said, would Quinn Miners be someone the Chiefs could target if they can't get Creed? Absolutely.
I really hope so, because not only is he super athletic, the dude is mean. He can just play mean.
Yeah.
I love it.
I did a preview. If you guys don't listen to Locked On Chiefs, please go over there and subscribe to that, because I did a little preview of the top 5 athleticism guys in the O-line. 3 of them are centers.
Yep.
And we'll go over that when the guide's about to drop, because you guys got to see this stuff. Okay, so Jalen Phillips is out. We're not going to bite on the Devontae Smith, even though it's challenging.
It's really tempting.
Yeah, right?
Really tempting.
So that leaves us with Tevin. Yeah. And Tevin is clearly the next choice down on my board from Darisaw. The only problem that I have, he's super nasty. He's got good handwork. I think his kick is probably better than Darisaw's right now, in my opinion. I just can't project with confidence him going over to the left at pick 16.
See, I can, because in 2020 he did start at right tackle, but he also flexed to left tackle multiple times throughout the season himself. So for me, when you're able to and he looked comfortable too. It wasn't like an issue where his footwork looked bad. So for me, I don't have any issue projecting him being the starting day 1 left tackle. I don't.
Okay, so you are comfortable with that. And I assume the question then becomes, if we have trade offers on the ground to get picks back and actually move up a little bit in the 2nd and 3rd rounds, do you take Tevin and call it done, or do you want to trade back?
Well, we did. We already traded up to come here, right? Like, this is the thing. Like, they traded up to get here. I'm not going back. I'm here. I'm going to take my guy, and that's Tevin Jenkins.
Well, our guy was Darisaw, though. That's
well, it was one of the 2. I said it was one of the 2, and he decided to go first. This is a little high for Darisaw, in my opinion, but
yeah, I agree, and it's really high for Jenkins. That's my only qualm, is I have Jenkins about 25. So it is what it is.
If he was second round, if I had him as a 2nd round pick, yeah, I get it, but I don't. I have him as a 1st round pick.
Fair enough. Then we're going to go for it this time, and we'll see what happens next time. So we're taking Jenkins, folks. So you have your left tackle, according to Dan, of the future, and I'm going to lean your direction because you've watched more film on him than I have. That's for sure. Eric, thank you for the super chat. If I didn't say that before, and I hope we answered your question well enough.
Yeah. Brandon Thorne also thinks he can switch to left, no problem. So I got no issues going for it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and we'll see if we can talk to Brandon before the month is out as well, folks. Jeff Porter, everybody, give Jeff Porter a hand, will you?
Thank you, Jeff.
He has done the bulk of the stat work in aligning for analysis on the draft guide. It's huge. If I could pull it up, because it's on my other machine, I would. But we'll go over it when it comes out. And same thing for Aaron. Thank you for running all of this, as always. All right, so we have gone through. We moved up. We took our guy. Now we're back at 63. We have not had another offer, and that's perfectly fine with me. So we're sitting here, and we have a couple of interesting options. Obviously, tackles off the board. So Brady Christensen, I think this is high for him anyway. But
I think Brady Christensen can play center.
Yeah.
I really do.
It's interesting. Let's see. Where did everybody go? My guy Molden went a couple of picks ago. Yeah, he went to 2 picks before. Okay, so both of two guys that we really like, if it falls that way, are off the board. And actually, Molden's a little bit lower than I have him. I think I have him in the 50s, and I only do them by blocks, folks. I just put them in 10s.
Yeah.
I don't have this. I'm going to rank 300 dudes in order.
No,
not my job. That's what tape analysts do, not me.
Yeah.
So Wyatt went, another guy that I think could go in and play some center if he has to. Creed went at 43, so that's center 1. Does that mean Miners is off the board?
No,
I would not. I would not think so, but I thought I'd see him right. Okay, they have him at 75. That's interesting. And I'll tell you guys this, in a pinch, if nothing else happens, Drew Dahlman, I looked at a little bit of his tape. He's got great scores and production, and his tape looks fine to me. If he's at like a 5th round pick, that's a guy that might win a spot. I'm just saying.
I was listening to a lot of what Brandon Thorne talked to Robert Mays on the Athletic Football Show podcast. I listened to it today. There's a lot of guys that he really feels comfortable in the later rounds at center, and guys that can move to center. So like there's a lot of options. I would guarantee you that the Chiefs have done their due diligence on that spot as well, because the guy that they brought in from the Rams, his name is escaping me at the moment, but Austin Blythe. He's not the future. So that their mind is definitely set on going to get someone at some point in this draft, in my opinion.
Sure, Michael, I'll show you a few more options, but for the most part, that's a reach. Anytime you get out of the top 10 guys that are in your range, you're starting to put love ahead of analysis. And
it depends. I mean, this is their ranking board, so things can be different. So I can understand wanting to see a little bit, especially if you have things ranked differently.
Yeah, I do too, but I don't go too far because I don't want to be reaching all day long. So that said, I'm happy that Jabril Cox is here. He is not a take on linebacker. He's not Zaven Collins, you guys. He's not the guy that I would go get if I just had any pick of any linebacker that I can have one dude on the field and that's him, because he is light. He is, he processes pretty well, but I wouldn't say that he's lightning to the hole. He plays backward really, really well.
Yeah,
and that's what I think Spags is going to want. I think this is pretty high on the list. I don't know about Jordan or Tremble here at 63. We've done that in the past a couple of times. I hear both of them kind of falling down some opinion polls of people that I've spoken to. What do you think?
Well, Firemouth is also staring in the face right there too.
Yeah, well,
he is tight end too, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I have more Brevin Jordan mostly because of the athletic testing. I did not like his athletic testing, but again, I don't believe, and I know that a lot of you don't want to hear this. I've said it. They don't care about tight end too. They do not care. They haven't shown that they care, and they don't. Well, they will never go to Twitter to see what we're all saying about tight end too, because they don't care.
I agree. And if they have 3 bodies, I think they're happy. Aaron, I think we're going to purposely miss on your guy this time, Derek.
Yeah,
Aaron,
bye-bye.
We've done it a few times. We'll circle back, I promise. Like to see. Welcome, Andre. Glad you're here. Awesome. Everybody else, Holland. I like Holland.
I do too.
I think this is a little high for him. I would think, quite frankly, I think Richie Grant's going to be a little higher on my board because I think he's got more utility to him.
Jamar Johnson keeps creeping up boards too. I'm hearing a lot of good stuff about his ball skills and like his nose for the football. Like that's pretty much what I hear about him.
That's all I hear about him. And yeah, he's a top 100 guy. I'll leave it at that.
So what do you think?
Milt Williams, by the way, he is DI number 1 in the athletic matrix, just so you guys know. He's undersized and very explosive. The question is, can he hang at 284 or whatever he is?
No.
Yeah.
That's a big no.
I mean, that's heavier than Tershawn Wharton is. So, I mean, it would have to be. What's that?
That's because he's an edge.
But he doesn't play an edge.
I think he's going to next year.
I think he should as well. But I'm just saying, like, if you're a pass rush specialist, you could maybe get away with that. To be a down and down out guy, I have some questions. Yeah. So, okay, I'm not going to take a tight end either. So it does come down to those safeties or the linebacker. I'm leaning towards
the linebacker. Yeah.
Okay, done deal. So we got that in, you guys. Stevie Keys made it in. I'm glad you made it. Let's see. And I guess he's a professor. I don't know among these things. Lucas, I like Jabril Cox pretty well, to tell you the truth. Jamin Davis is very good as well, but those guys are like pretty high on my linebacker list.
Davis is crawling up through the second round from what I've seen in a lot of mock drafts. So
yeah, I have seen the same. Do we want to move back a couple spots and pick up a 7th? Do you think that there's that much value in this particular draft?
In the 7th round? I mean, not really, but that's my own opinion.
that's my general opinion as well. I only wonder because the inaccuracies or the lack of information this year. Yeah. I wonder if it if there's going
Push
to be
him
more
for a
guys that
sixth.
fall through the cracks.
Push him for a sixth.
Okay, let's try that. No, thank you, but I'll take that guy. Ooh, well, if you're going to give me that, will you give me that?
I mean, I got fourth.
I'll give you that. I'll give him back a sixth.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Oh,
Ooh.
you stingy little dudes.
They're what? Accepting offers like almost at the bar. Okay, there we go.
Sometimes, I mean, just like in the league, sometimes you got to call 3 or 4 times and then you get stuff done. So
like
who did they come up to get? No, Bengals. I'm not going back any farther. Who'd they come up to get? They came to get
McGrone.
Huh. I find that interesting. I would not have
Get it.
I would not have done that.
In the third round, I don't have an issue going up to 4 spots to get a guy that you like on your board that can develop.
Yeah. On my board, he's significantly lower, so that's fine. Gillespie went, Forsyth went. I know you liked him, and this is the point where, you know, on your third or fourth pick, like I could see doubling up if they were really concerned about the tackle future.
I think that they're doubling up is going to happen. We have 3 fourth-round picks now, so we can double up there.
Right. And that's going to be interesting. So, okay, who's on the board? What do we like? This is one in particular that I think there's going to be some edges that I like. It looks like the one that I was thinking of went. Quincy Roche certainly went. And good Lord, Peyton Turner in the 70s, I think, is pretty rich, but I do like him.
I love it. Janoris Robinson, geez, what happened? He was like a 5th-round pick 2 weeks ago. What
still
happened?
Is. This just doesn't reflect that. And honestly, this is pretty rich for Peyton as well. I think Peyton's going to be a fringe 100 guy, in my opinion.
Oh, I have him right there. Just about right there.
Do you really? Okay.
Yeah, I like him that much.
So how far stacked are you on your board?
I've got like six edges that I've done.
Oh, okay.
That I've looked at. Not a whole lot. Like I'm still filling it out a bit, but I really, really like Peyton Turner.
I think we have to fight to not take an interior offensive line guy because I think they have enough. Unless he's somebody specific for a specific role. And in guards like Smith, I like Cleveland as well. I don't see either of them playing center on purpose. So I think they're in a logjam.
And Cleveland has got, you know, he's a power gap guy. Gap guy. He's not coming in to play in a zone scheme. I'll tell you that much.
I don't care about the quarterback. So now we're back to a developmental corner in Keith Taylor Jr., who I like. He has like prototypical length that the Chiefs like. He's not exactly twitchy in making his man turns. I like him better in zone, but
I get that.
It is what it is. Bruce, what do you have? Thank you very much for the super chat, as always. What about staying at 31 and moving up in the second round? We'll try that. We'll try that next time. That's exactly what I was thinking as well, Bruce.
I like that.
Thank you. So Hudson, this is about the right spot for him, I think. Early fourth, right?
Third round-ish. Yeah, early fourth is about what I got him. He did not test as well as I thought he was going to either, which is a little upsetting. But
yeah,
and this board is a little interesting here.
It is, isn't it? I'm not seeing much that I like right now.
What do we got at wide receiver?
Tylan.
Oof, no thanks.
Right. I just found out today, which I didn't even realize, that his brother has blown his ACL like 3 times.
Yes, and I actually found an interesting thread about that.
Yeah.
Because apparently it's also inherent in the family and the genealogy. So now he's also more at risk now because not only does he have that ACL injury, but his brother's blown it multiple times. So he's kind of apt to do it more often in the NFL now.
Folks, I'm going to try to get Matt Waldman on with us as well. Matt does his own video channel. You've probably seen him, and he's on the podcast with us every year.
Yeah.
I just haven't been able to connect with him. He actually said the opposite, that he had a source that said it is not genetically linked.
Interesting.
And it was because the original injury was in high school and that it was never repaired correctly. That could be a factor as well.
That's very interesting.
When we look at this, I just don't see anybody that really screams like, hey, I should go put him on this team and he can play. I don't see anybody that's taking time away from the people they have right now. Do you?
Me either. Like this is a weird board.
Yeah.
You might have to end up trading out, reaching up for somebody. I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking. So let's try to do a trade. Let's see if we can just move back a few picks.
Bengals would want to trade back, or trade up. So
yeah, and the Saints have been all over us all day. So let's try that. So we'll give you 98. We're not moving back that far. Oh, and all they have after that is 6th and 7th.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I don't
that's
think
done.
so.
That's over with. But let's try to keep it. Let's try to keep it in the NFC. We'll go back to 103. That's perfectly fine with us. And you're going to give us that too.
Yeah, right.
They're not willing. Hey, you got to ask for what you want in life, bro. Maybe it's Hotlanta.
Maybe. I would be okay with that.
That is 10. That's about the outer limit of where I would want to move back to.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, but all they have to go with is a 5th. That doesn't even excite me. Makes me want to puke.
We might end up being reaching for somebody. Actually, go back in there and go to the tackles real quick.
Okay. Talk to me, Goose.
Okay, so we've got a couple guys here. Robert Hainsey is a guy who could, I think, potentially be a center too. I think that's also something that Brandon Thorpe had talked about. So if we wanted to take someone like that, it's really kind of an interesting thing. But again, we're at a 98 where the board is not exactly in our favor.
Yep.
Interior, Trey Smith, again, he could legit be one of the best guards to come out of the draft. But again, I mean, we have 2 guys on 1-year deals. Or not one guy in a 1-year deal. And then
right. And a slew of dudes behind him. Here's the thing. Kendrick Green tested really well at center.
Yes.
Dahlman tested really well, both zone blockers at the center position.
It's just a bit rich for me with Green. I think he's a fringe 4th-round pick.
I agree. So all I'm saying is we can wait on both of those guys.
Yeah,
We don't have to push for somebody here. So let's take a look one more time at total talent. I'm not taking a running back, you guys. I just refuse to do it. And I like Trey Sermon. A round or two from now, I would take Trey Sermon.
I wouldn't, but just because speed dynamic, it just doesn't fit. They already have 3 guys that have that type of speed dynamic. It just
is Amon Ross still on the board?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. Good call there, Robert. You guys tell us what you want. We're at a loss here. We probably do our own thing, but I want to know what you guys think.
This is a tough spot to be in. Look at edge real quick too, because maybe there's some athletic guys that
or not.
Oh, see, I'd be okay with Odiengbo.
Dude, I like his game. He still hasn't run anything though, and we don't know what his recovery's like.
I get it. I think his tape is better than 3rd-round tape, though.
That's fair. At least in flashes, anyway. I've watched some where he falls asleep too. So
I think a lot of players in this class fall asleep at times. Like, I'm not joking.
Yeah.
Guys like Elijah Moore just falls asleep at times, and it bothers me. But I do think he's.
By the way, my boy Shaka came in at 33 inch. 33 inches. No, I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to stack for later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was worried about his arm length, but he hit 33, so I feel better now.
That's surprising. He looked.
I know, right? Okay, so this is of my mind, and folks, we'll get cutting now. I know. There's a Raiders fan. Welcome, Vegas. Go ahead. Go ahead for Schwartz. I'll get Schwartz later. He'll be here later. I like him, but you can't invest too much because he looks frail to me.
I wouldn't invest anything.
You really don't like him, do you?
I can't stand
even
him.
with an upside pick in the 5th or even the 6th.
7. He's a 7th-round UDFA in my opinion. I don't like him.
Okay, cool. Okay, so it comes down to this. I can go with the corner.
Yep.
And hope that he develops, or I can double down and take Hudson and see what you can get out of him.
No, I think the corner makes more sense.
Okay. Done deal. Folks, all that talking, and we took the guy we talked about first anyway. That's what we do.
Sorry, we got 3 picks coming up at the 4th round. We're just going to go bam, bam, bam.
Hey, Jake, thank you for that super chat. I appreciate that. I didn't say that. But Schwartz, despite what Dan thinks, Schwartz is on my board. I don't mind a late round investment on him. I wouldn't take him in the 4th. That's too early for me, but something beyond that I'm comfortable with. Okay, we're on the board at 133. They want us to move back. No, we're not going to enable you. Thank you. Jeff, I want to get your point here. On your board, if we don't see a player with a 2nd round grade, we need to trade back. avoid the overreach. I'm with you. That is my thought. Like trade down if you don't have value. Okay, so now we're in an interesting conundrum here where we have
Bo.
right. Deo's back.
I'd be okay with that.
Patrick Jones, yeah. I mean, at this point, at 133, I would probably be comfortable with that.
Yeah, I mean, this is an edge. This is like the spot to pick edge right here. Like this makes the most sense. You got 3 picks in the 4th round
for value. Yeah, I'm with you
on the board.
I like Osa's game though. When's our next pick? Oh, we have 3 picks. Right okay, we'll come get him next. Okay, hold on.
He's an interior player. They're not going to take an interior.
I know, but I like his game. I mean, and if Colin Saunders does not work out, I want somebody fresh in there that I think can get the job done.
That makes sense.
And Walker Little goes here in the 4th, and that's about where he needs to go.
Yep.
I'm comfortable.
I would agree with that.
All right, so we got our guy. We got Deo, so we have a developmental edge.
Yeah.
I'm glad Frank Darby had a good Senior Bowl. I don't know that it makes me want to go grab him here, though.
Not really.
It's one of the top on the board. Wiggins is still in here.
I like that.
We have a shot at him in another 8 picks, though.
We do.
Okay, so let's take one of these top guys on this board. I like Osa. Who do you like elsewise? Top 3 edges here on this board.
Yeah, Osa is the only one actually looking at me right now. Like,
oh, and all I needed to hear you say it.
I like his game too. It was just more of I didn't know if they'd be getting him right then and there, but
yeah. A lot of edges still hanging out here. Radarius comes up. We missed.
Oh, Wiggins gone. Wiggins left.
Oh, did he?
Yep, he's gone. You waited.
Yep. Hey, and that's why you pull the trigger when you want a guy. Yeah. I like Wiggins. I didn't see you need to like go make sure. Because I do think I like Bledsoe's game. I think there's going to be other safeties. Caden Sturge can super run.
Yeah.
I even like a little bit of what I see from Sherwood. More inconsistent to me, but I mean, and Derek Forrest is Wiggins' partner in crime. He makes some plays as well.
Yeah, and I think that you were talking about it the other night where he just doesn't get as much shine because Wiggins plays a little bit better and he's more talked about. But I think the drop off isn't considerable.
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's see. Anybody else worth looking around? Puka Williams. We could always take Puka. You need a Jayhawk, folks.
In the 4th round?
Are we in the 4th still?
Still in the 4th.
Yeah, this is early. Sorry, Puka. I'll get you in the 7th. I promise.
Yeah, you're still there at the 6th, 7th round. I'll pull the trigger.
Yeah. I mean, LeCount has made some plays. He gives up a lot of plays as well. I probably have him, quite frankly, below Bledsoe and below, maybe even below Stearns as well. When it all is all said and done. Who stands out to you here? Because I'd trade out of this if I could, but we won't get anything.
Yeah, you gotta get going. So I'm really against Seth Williams myself. This is an interesting board. What do we got for interior guys?
Offense or defense?
Offense. We just took
I just wanted to make sure. We got Drew. But his rank here is 50 picks away.
No, I know.
I can wait on it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can too. Oh, jeez.
Are any of your super small school tackles still out there? No.
Josh Ball? Yes.
Yeah?
I actually just posted a tweet from Brandon Thorne today. This guy can move.
Okay.
35-inch arms.
Really?
35.
All right, he's the 7th rounder we're going to invest in. We'll be back,
dude.
I'm so lost on this one tonight. I don't even know what picks we have left. I got to go look. Oh, we only have this pick and 181.
All right, let's just start throwing picks at the board.
Good Lord, this one's a mess, folks. The next one will be better, I promise. Let's see.
At least it's fun, guys. At least it's fun.
What's your opinion on Dez?
I would take Newsom over Dez.
Would you? Okay. Daz over Dez. Okay, it's alphabetical. I get it. And there's our guy Schwartz, and we know how you feel about him, so maybe we should.
When you say our guy, can you just say your guy?
You cannot replace Olympic speed.
Yeah, you can.
How?
Get someone who can run routes and get open.
That's not Olympic speed.
You want to know who's got really good speed and can't get open because he can't run routes?
Who?
Nicole Hardman.
Oh,
I'm just joking.
Oh, I can't really argue with you, though, because I see Schwartz as an eventual replacement for McCall.
I mean, you may as well take that and Des Newsome if you want a replacement in the slot, because that's what I think Newsome's going to be, except he can run routes.
Well, that's a plus, but can he actually get free and stretch the field?
He can.
Because they want to run 4 verts.
Yeah, they do.
So you have to have a release.
Right now. I would take him right now in the 4th round. I would do it.
Would you really? Where is he?
I would.
Did I just pass him?
No, he's down there.
Oh, is he? Well, then he'll. Okay, I'm overruling you then. I'm taking Bledsoe.
Go for it.
For everybody who has asked me for the last 6 weeks about Gillespie, there's your guy, Josh Bledsoe, who I think is a better football player. It just is what it is.
And by the way, guys, I'm not joking about Cornell Power out of Clemson. I think he's extremely underrated.
If you guys want to see something, the one guy that gave Terrace Marshall some trouble this year, the 2020 game against Missouri, it was Bledsoe. Go check that out.
He didn't exactly, but okay.
He hit 3 PBUs and got a pick, didn't he?
Yeah, he got the pick wasn't on Marshall.
I thought it was targeted at Marshall.
It may have been targeted at him, but maybe it didn't get to him.
No, I'm just saying, like, he played against their number one receiver as a safety and was able to make plays.
Yeah, but Marshall did also go off in that game.
He did. It was like 330 or 230.
Yeah,
or something,
he went off. And he had a couple touchdowns. He didn't have the game-winning, but that was his fault.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I think Josh Bledsoe is the one guy who came to play that day.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Okay, so we are here with our last pick at 181, and then we'll start over, folks. For those of you that are like, why is this dragging on so long? Here's your guy, Powell, still on the board.
Take him.
My guy, Shaka's still here. We have a K-Stater over here in Wyatt, and I got to tell you guys, his testing came out pretty low end. He's not going to be very high in the guide, but I know a lot of you guys love him, so let's hope that he makes a roster and he can fight for a job. Demetric Felton, look how far he's fallen.
Yeah, it's because he's a running back slot receiver. He's not really a true receiver.
Yeah, absolutely. And he tested like an RB.
Yeah, exactly.
Bobby Brown's an interesting one here.
Super athletic, dude.
Yeah. Trey McKitty's a tight end if they really had to have one.
Yeah.
But I think he's a question mark.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the time. At 181, this is the time that you take question marks. So
they've shown that they're going to go get a guy.
I still can't believe Josh Palmer's all the way down here.
I would take him.
Yeah, why not? Let's just say that we did. He's going to go like 2 rounds before this.
He will. He'll go in like the 4th or the 3rd round. I think he's that good.
I appreciate the Shaka support there, Jake. And MPAC, I took Josh. I say this wrong. I say it different every dang week. Amateur baby, right? Amateur baby.
Yeah, Amateur baby. Yeah.
Okay. I took him a couple of times around. I'm trying not to do the same guys over and over and over.
That's the hard part about doing these is that you're just like, oh, this guy is really, really good here, but you've done him the last 3 times. Like, oh.
That's exactly it. Okay. Downtown Bobby Brown. Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Okay, so here's what we ended up with. A guy that can start at the tackle spot that they have a gaping hole. We spent some picks to go get him, but Tevin was there, and we got it done. I do think this is a little bit high for where he's going to go in reality, but we'll find out. Came back with Jabril Cox, another a guy that will start in the base right away, and I think eventually the only problem that I see with him start playing in the nickel with or without Willie is that somebody's got to make the calls, and neither of them did. Jabril did not make the calls at LSU. He did at NDSU, but it was Damone Clark that made the calls at LSU last year in 2020. So that is something to think about. But I like Jabril a lot. Came back with Keith Taylor, long, tall corner, fits exactly the mold that you like. Little bit more zone-oriented than man-oriented. Deo is injured. What was it, Achilles?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, and it was like January, right?
Yeah, it was pretty. It was close to the end. I'm not sure if it was the actual end of the season, but it was pretty close.
So he may even need a little bit of a redshirt year or start on PUP. I don't know. But a guy that has some upside. Same thing with Osa. And then Bledsoe and Palmer, I think 2 guys that can make flash plays when given the opportunity. So that said, not in love with this one, so I'm not saving it. We're starting over.
We're bad at this.
Why are we so bad at this?
The ones that we've done together have been bad.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, there's something about the algorithm that hates you and I being on here together.
Well, they've been updating it quite a bit lately because they're doing all their cross checks right now. So
right,
that's kind of throwing a lot of things that we're used to off. But
But
that's
that's
kind
okay because the NFL's board isn't going to be anything like theirs is every day. So it's perfectly fine. All right. Same concept. We want to trade up, right?
trade up in the second round this time, right?
In the second round. Okay. Let's see what we can get done. We know the Jets want to move around, right? So I want to go up and get their pick. It's not that hard. I want to go from
How far are we
63.
going?
I want to go from 63 to 34.
Oh, okay. You just want to go.
I mean, if you're going to do it, let's do it. I'll give you 3 picks for it.
I would not be mad at that.
Give up our compensatory 4th and a 6th.
I would not be mad at that.
Maybe I can get a lower 6th back. Yeah, you never know. It doesn't hurt to ask.
It doesn't hurt to ask. You're right. It does.
Let's do this.
Yeah,
I'm going to show you guys why.
I like this.
Oh, wait. No, I didn't say start.
Whoa, it's going.
Yeah, it was flying. Okay, so first 9 picks are off the board. Slater goes, Sewell goes. We knew that.
Yep.
But this is why I stopped it here. And actually, stopping on Dallas isn't a bad idea. The reason that I wanted to do that trade so quickly is because of this. Where is it? NFC. It helps if I do the right conference.
Just look.
So here's what we have, folks. We jettisoned a pick. And we all know that they have a lot of holes to fill. There's a lot of guys that are going to fall through this draft that I think actually have a chance at making a roster as UDFA. So I'm a little bit comfortable getting rid of the 7th. But now we have 34 and 31. So can we get there from here?
Nope.
You don't think?
No, I don't.
What if I do that? Ooh, no, they won't even do it. So Dallas doesn't care. Dallas just doesn't care.
Dallas would rather move up.
Right? I don't even know if they'll be there, but let's try the Giants and see what they'll do. They're not interested either.
I don't think anyone's interested in moving to 31.
I think somebody will be in real life. Somebody's going to like Trask or something, right?
That's possible.
I don't know. That's what I'm thinking in the back of my head is that somebody's going to have some interest that feels like, hey, that 5th-year option is what I want.
Someone's phone is just going crazy.
So the wife called and I thought I hit cancel, but I didn't.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Really? They're that likely to move back.
Now look how green that is.
That's interesting. Do you really want to do this?
I mean, do you want Darisaw?
I don't think he's like. I don't think I would move from 31 to 12 to get him.
You don't think so?
I personally wouldn't, but again, that's me.
Okay. Well, again, my thought is taking picks, compressing them, getting rid of those lower ones.
I get it. It definitely makes sense. I'm just, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm a little less swayed to do it just because I think that there's guys that they're targeting later in the draft personally, but that's just, kind of my own opinion.
So should I abandon all the hope here then and just call it quits?
Well, yeah, they wanted to see how the first round plays out. We stay at 31 and move up in the second round. And that's kind of what we're doing now. So,
okay, I'll let it go then. All right, so let's see how it rolls out. All right, we get an offer from the Bears. They want out of 20, and they want a second in the future. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
And we can counter this if we need to. Tevin just went off at 19.
That's an unfortunate circumstance if you want to move up.
And if they wanted Darisaw in this situation,
would have been there.
Yeah. And so that was my thinking. Is like, if you want a top 3 tackle.
No, I get the thinking.
No, I'm trying to say for everyone else, I'm not explaining to you. I know you know where I'm going. You don't agree all the time, but you know where I'm going. So that leaves me here. Anybody worth on this top group? I mean, is Micah Parsons a thing? I don't think he fits what the Chiefs want to do.
I don't think so. The only guy to move up for would be Kwity Paye.
Kind of my thinking too.
I'm a big Kwity Paye guy. And that's not just because I'm a Michigan fan. Like I love Kwity Paye's tape.
So they want our second from next year.
From next year.
I'll give you the 4th. Nah, I'm done. No, if I'm not winning a trade, I ain't doing it.
I'm sure they feel the same way.
Yeah. They do, but somebody's got to give it. It won't be me. Okay, so here we go. Stokes goes. Farley goes. I think he's going to fall. I think I'm going to have him outside my first round, to tell you the truth.
Interesting. Okay.
It's just too much. It's too much worry for a first round pick. Okay, so we are at 25. Do you want to go to 25 for a fifth and a seventh next year?
No.
No?
I mean, I don't. At this point, I don't think there's anybody worth trading up to get. But I don't know the board again. So I mean, Phillips. Still, we talked about the questions that with him, Quiddy still on the board.
Quiddy is there. Zaven is there. Terrace Marshall is there.
Yeah, because he's probably not going to be there at 31.
That's my thinking. Is I really like, the more I watch Terrace Marshall film, the more I like his fit in this offense. Yeah. And I just don't know if he's going to make it.
You could talk me into that.
For who?
What do you mean?
Because if we traded up to 25, I'd be like, okay, now what do I do? Because there's like 4 dudes that I would take, and I don't have my board stacked yet.
That's me.
I would take Marshall. Okay, I have Quiddy Pay above him though. Is the problem?
On like my big board, I will too. But again, if we're talking from where I think the Chiefs see their roster, I think that they're going to have Wharton, possibly even Jones, play outside on the edge more. I think that they really like Tim Ward. I think they clearly really like Mike Dana. They also brought back Taco Charlton. They've got Frank Clark. That's a lot of bodies.
Yeah, you're right.
But again, that's what I think myself, and I could be completely wrong. And you guys know after my rant video that I don't care about being wrong. No, I don't care.
And neither do I. That's why I'm going to pass on trading with the Jags.
Okay.
I want to see how it falls. Ojulari.
If Marshall's there, man.
Quiddy went at 30.
He just went.
That's really interesting. And Marshall is there.
It's still on the board. That's nice.
As is Eichenberg.
You're going to be picking at 34, though. So
right, exactly. So like you could have both of them. Is there anybody else that falls into this equation for you? Is Zaven a thought here? Because it's not for me.
It's a thought in the sense that, does Marshall get to 34? Probably not, because he's probably being taken by the Jaguars.
That's my thought as well.
So,
I mean, quite frankly, I would think he might even go to the Bucs.
I don't think so, because I think their wide receiver room is actually quite stacked. But I think he's going in the next 2 picks regardless. So there's a better chance that Zaven gets to 34 than Marshall does.
Agreed. Eichenberg, I think, will even fall a little bit farther than that.
I do, especially after his testing.
Cosme did go at 24. I'm a little surprised by that.
He's going to go. I think he's going to go up that way, just by the way everyone sees him. I don't see him like that, but
fair enough. I don't either, but hey, it is what it is. Lego, thank you for that, folks. If you'd hit the plus sign, thumbs up always helps us. All right, so let's do this. Let's get the big dude.
Yeah,
we're gonna worry about the tackles after. And who goes next? No, I don't want to trade out of this. Or do I want to trade out of this? Hold on.
To 46 to get an extra top 100 pick, an extra 6th, and then
got to give a 5th in return. Dude, that's picking up an extra top 100.
Yeah, I think I might do it.
Dude, that's my thought as well.
Do they want Zaven? They want Zaven.
That's my thought. Let me hide this again real quick.
They want
Zaven's there. They might even like Bear, to tell you the truth. And I can, is it Bar or Bear? I always say Bear. I got to stop that. Eichenberg went. Eichenberg's off anyway. So for me, like we can go another probably 20 picks before I want a guy. All right, we're doing that.
Let's do it.
Okay, so that's what we're gonna do, folks. We moved up to 34. And what did we give up? 4th? No, we gave up our 2nd, right?
A 2nd round pick and a 4th.
Yeah,
I think another pick too, 6th.
Okay, so now we're going to move back down, stay in the 2nd, but we're picking up another 3rd right after our last one, and maybe I can push Bill a little bit. Ooh, look what I did! Take that, Bill. Ooh, take that, Bill.
Wow, he's really into this. Let's do it,
dude. Bill likes me. He really, really likes me. Okay, there we go. So this is going to be a little cringeworthy, folks. Don't worry about it. The bloodletting will continue. We don't want to move back again. We want to make a selection here.
I agree.
We want a top 50 talent. I'm sorry, what?
Can everybody hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay, my mic's been having some issues just for a second. I wanted to make sure.
Okay, looks like most of the folks in the chat agreed with Marshall. I'm glad you guys are happy. Let's see what we do next. They still have Landon at 32. I do think that's a little bit high, but like at 46, if his medicals come back after that recheck and you're okay, I'm
not even like questioning it. I'm taking him, but that's me. Let's see who else is on the board before we just like haul off and take him.
I will say one other thing though. I actually have him in the 50s because of the medical, and if there's any lingering, he would drop dramatically. So Creed is right behind him and on this board.
Yeah, that's definitely not a
safer pick.
It's a safer pick. Yeah, it is. That's all I'll say.
Well, let's just draw it down to the one thing that matters most.
Availability.
No, well, okay, sorry. The second most important thing. Blocking in the inside zone. What does it come down to for you? You've studied both of them more than I have. I've maybe done 2 games on each.
Yeah, well, Creed's definitely the most intelligent center in this class. The thing for me is, do you want to give up a little bit of that intelligence? And I don't think Dickerson's dumb by any stretch of the imagination. I listened to both conversations that Brandon Thorne had with these players. They know what they're doing. And Landon is going to give you upside in terms of being able to do everything that you want in a zone scheme, but give you the movement ability and the nastiness of a guy who plays in a power scheme. So while you're right, it's probably safer to pick Creed, you're losing some of that contact strength because it's a safer pick because you don't know if Landon's going to be on the field as much because the medicals is a legitimate question. So again, like you said, if it comes back and it's him versus Humphrey, I personally am taking Landon Dickerson. Okay.
I like Jabril if we traded back again. We did that last time. I think Jalen Mayfield is a guard, and I think he's outside of even this ranking myself.
Yeah, he's not close to there for me.
I think Joe Tryon is more like where Ronnie Perkins is. I think Ronnie Perkins is lower. Baron Browning is way too high for me in this one. Onwuzurike is an interesting option here, right? But again, take it outside of the fact that they're stacked at the defensive line, right?
Yeah, no, I love him. I legitimately love him. I actually considered having him as my defensive tackle 1. Like,
yeah,
that's how good I think he is.
I think that's where he'll end up on my board as well, because it's all around game and it's a constant motor. There are no questions about motivation or play.
Some legit Chris Jones vibes I got.
Yeah, absolutely. He even comments about Chris Jones when he's interviewed.
Yes.
I mean,
he looks like the guy on film.
Dude, they would be a wrecking crew together.
Yeah.
And this is what makes me giddy, folks. We start talking about defensive linemen that can crush people. That makes me happy. Yeah. But in terms of value, do we have to go? Dickerson's a rare breed if he's healthy.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're questioning if he is. It's a really tough decision.
I think Jake just made it.
Yeah,
all right,
let's do it.
I probably won't do this in any other mock this season, folks, because it scares me to death spending this pick on this guy. But welcome to Kansas City, Landon Dickerson.
I would love it. I really would.
I don't know if Gucci's in the house tonight. He might not be, but he's gonna be happy when he sees this.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't get Sertan, Gooch. Sorry, I would love to. Now we're gonna let this roll off because we got 2 big fish fried in that you have the weapon and you have the guy in the middle. They still need tackle help, and we know that this didn't work out the way that this one fell.
Well, there he is.
Who, this guy?
No, my guy is right on the board, I think.
Oh, is he? So I should just decline this out of hand.
Yeah, because I mean we already picked up some extra picks too, didn't we?
Oh man, it's moving back 8 places to pick up a fifth. Move up a whole round in the 5th. Oof.
See, because
I'll decline it.
Okay, well look. Okay, so wait, before did you just decline it?
I did, but I'll offer it to him again.
Well, because if we have 2 picks. Right here. So if you wanted to trade this one back, Forsyth might still be there at 96.
That's a fair point. Okay, and so what I'm going to want from them then is this guy, and I'll give you this guy.
Yeah, they're not interested in that.
No, they're not going to take that much, but I might not be done.
The work is never done.
Yeah, right. What were they originally offering us? A fifth, right?
This was, I don't think it was the 49ers though, was it?
It was, yeah.
Oh, I don't remember what their offer was.
Must have been that. Yep, it was that.
Okay.
I don't care about the 230th pick in the draft.
It's only a 7th and a 3rd? I thought it was an extra pick in there, wasn't there?
Yeah, I thought so too. Oh, it must have been something in the next year.
Maybe because otherwise, why wouldn't they accept this? I don't understand.
Yeah, that is kind of strange.
All right, well, regardless, I guess it doesn't matter now.
No, but it makes me sad.
Yeah, no, that's weird.
I seem to find all the loopholes in this mock machine. I gotta tell you. Okay, so let's try another victim. Saints.
Sure.
You think he'd last that long?
Well, remember, we don't have to. We got 2 picks.
Right. No, that's true. That's true.
We're just hoping he gets to 96. Or we can just not worry about it and just take it.
Right. Give him to me, you pancake eating. Oh.
Did he just go?
Let's hope not. Nope, he's there.
Yeah, he's there. Oh, okay. Yeah.
They went. Your guy is there.
That's unfortunate. They went to get Quincy Roche.
Dan is driving the bus.
I'm not going to lie, guys. I love Stone Forsythe. His pass blocking tape is some of the best in this class. For a guy his size, the way he moves is ridiculous.
Done deal. There really was not another option. Hudson was the next one. I think he needs time to bake.
Yeah, he can't play day one. I think that you can get by with Forsythe. Okay,
so again, this is what we've done. We've gotten the center. If he's healthy, that is pretty good bargain at 46. We've gotten the developmental tackle that can come in, athletic, nasty. What else am I missing?
He's just going to need some work on the run game. Like he's going to need some work. So you're going to need to bring in a vet, I think, maybe week 8-ish, where you can start testing him out and really seeing what he could do. But I think he's going to be legit good. He's 6'8", 34-inch arms. Like, he's huge.
Okay, we have some it was 5th and 7th. Thank you, Didi. I appreciate that. McGrone, Jethead, wants us to look at. He is on the board.
Right there.
He's on the board. Hunter Long's on the board. I don't know that I'd take him in the top 100.
Now, we've also spent heavily on the offense right here. So I think we need to kind of switch gears, look at that defensive side a little bit. Unless there's someone that blows us away, which I don't think there is.
Right. Nick, you're going to have to explain to me. I'm not sure what you mean. Trade up for Waddle.
I think he means Waddle.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I like Waddle. Yeah, he just said that too. Sorry, I'm dumb. I didn't let you actually finish. My fault. Yes, thank you, Nick. All you super chatters, thank you very much. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not too focused on this. But who else stands out to you here?
I don't mind McGrone here. He's probably a little high for you, but
yeah,
like standing out. This is almost the same position we were in earlier at the early 4th. It's not a great board for that. So I'm okay with McGrone because I think he's a guy you could probably get away with a little bit in some subsets, but it's just.
Well, since you're here and he's from Michigan, let's do it.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that.
If anybody is in Kansas City calling me, I'm not ignoring you on purpose. I'm just in the middle of something. It's always interesting when 913 numbers come up. Okay, back on the board at 120. We're not trading out. We want some stock here, people.
Yeah.
Not impressed with Cam Sample over at this position. I like Divine Diablo's game.
Yeah.
We took Dale last time. Let's take him off the board. Israel Mukawamu, I think, is a guy that can change to safety and could be like the more ball hawking version of Dan Sorensen eventually.
I can see that. I think that's a pretty good idea too.
I also think Jacoby Stevens is a guy that can walk into that role.
See, and I think he's underrated here. I think he's a 3rd-round pick.
Okay. I would be tempted to take him here.
Yeah.
You have a problem with that?
But no, I love that because I actually think he's ready earlier.
I do too. And it's I think he's getting evaluated based on being like a safety where he really is a nickel linebacker. He's what they want Dan to be.
See, and that's the thing that you saw last year. Like you did it with L'Jarius Sneed. Some of these guys are going to get wrongly evaled by what we're seeing on Twitter because of what happened with COVID, opt-outs, and just being in different positions based on, say, you're close in what you did last year with the guy who opted out. So you go ahead and you play here. Like some things are going to be weird.
Yeah.
And that's going to be an advantage for guys like the Chiefs who do their research really, really well and get guys that know that they like.
Well, and the coolest part about Jacoby is I think he could stand in and play that nickel thing like Dan does at the box, but he also experienced playing deep, which they're going to ask their third safety to do from time to time.
Bigger too.
I want to say 6'2". Like, do I have my book? Hold on. I'm going to check the guy who knows everything and not go off of my personal notes. Jacoby came in at 212, and he is 6'11", which means he's about half an inch shorter than Dan.
Okay, so that's not what I thought he was.
Okay. You thought he was 6'3", right?
I thought he was 6'2", yeah.
Yeah, he was listed at 6'2" or 3", I thought. So, yeah, it is significant. Dylan Moses, this is a linebacker that this is about where I think he belongs. I'm glad they adjusted the board for that. I'm glad we got him, but at 133, we also have 136 here in a minute. So we have some leeway. And I like it when we have these stacked picks that are in ranges. Yeah. Trey Brown is a nickel that I find interesting. Playing in the Big 12 doesn't really help your stock, but I think he could make the transition. Wiggins is here, although we just took a safety. What else we got in here? Marco Wilson is a developmental corner that can burn. He has trouble keeping his shoes on though. So I mean, let's be careful. But
isn't he an athletic freak too?
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to be probably I'd have to double check. I think he's in the top 5 of his position in the matrix. And once we put in the production stuff, I think he's still going to be in a pretty good spot. But who stands out to you on this board?
Here it would, man. I'm gonna get down to saying his name at some point, but the edge out of Notre Dame that was up there a little bit. I think he's
Gundia?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's only because I think that he's a guy that 100% fits what they want in terms of length and positional strength. Like I think he can play tough.
See, now I said that with an A. It's Agundaje. Sorry, folks, I mispronounced that.
Agundaje.
Yeah, and he's got good length. He actually graded out a little bit less athletically than Dalen did, but similar in production. And I don't know, probably a little bit more dynamic on film, I think.
That's the thing. It's kind of looking for fit stuff because we know that they're going to take a guy who fits what they want over any guy that's listed higher because they did exactly what they did with Mike Dana. So, and they're going to do that regardless of the board. They don't care. Ellerson Smith's the guy too that stands out. Mm-hmm. Bet on the upside because that guy's got upside.
Is he in here?
Yeah, he's all right there.
Right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have another pick in a couple minutes. We can pretty much pick our poison here. What do you want?
Well, I was the last one. Yeah, you guys put in your input so we can see what you guys want here. It's actually a nice board.
Agundaje. Thank you, RJ. I knew I did that wrong initially.
Thank you.
Hope we consider Chuba. I can't
get it, man.
I like his game. I think he did himself a disservice by going back to school, quite frankly. And after drafting Clyde,
he also ran slower than I thought he was going to run. Like he ran almost like basically a 4.5.
Yeah, although at the running back position, I don't really care.
No, but again, I think that they want a guy who's going to be 4.4, like someone who can hit a home run on a play. And not that he can't, but it's just more of he's not very wiggly.
Wiggly is a good point. Yeah, he is. I like him in a zone, one step, go downhill. I like that. He can maybe make some guys miss, but it's really about turning the corner, getting the juice on.
I like that, James. I like that.
Right? Okay, so just tell me, Dan. I'm leaving this one up to you.
Go ahead and take Agundaje this time because we've done Hayes before.
Yeah.
And then just
And they both play a power. They both played a big rotation at Notre Dame, so they don't have a ton of mileage on them, in my opinion. I like that aspect of it.
And they're going to come into a system where they're going to play in a rotation anyway.
Right? Absolutely. Okay, so we are back at 136. I think this is a good spot for, especially like a nickel guy like Trey. Did Marco go? It looks like Marco went.
No, he didn't. Where is he?
He's in here somewhere.
There he is.
Yeah, we're gonna follow James's plan. Cool.
I like it. I think it's a good plan.
Done deal.
Do we have any more picks left?
Yeah, I do believe. Now Marco is he's got some maturing to do, but he has got athleticism that is hard to find, you guys. That's why we went for it.
7th round pick.
Oh, I lied. We don't have any picks left.
We have one pick.
Oh, is that what that is? Okay. Sorry. It looked grayed out. I was like,
we're gonna take a wide receiver, just a random.
And there's going to be 6 of them, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
Exactly. There's going to be a ton of high upside athletic guys at the end of the 7th round that you can just be like, hey, let's just throw you on the practice squad real quick.
Lego, I get your point, but I think they have faith in Pringle. They want Hardman to do it. They have a couple of other guys that they would let take back kicks. So I don't think that's going to factor in too hugely, but it will be the
Maurice French do it next year a little bit too.
I would hope. I like that aspect of him. Avery had this on Chuba, redshirt 4.36 at the pro day.
Is unofficial. It was not his official. It was official. Was like a 4.48, closer to 4.5.
Yeah, I got to check that because I thought it was less than that. Actually, it was 4.5 flat.
Yeah, 4.5 flat. That was the official time.
But I will say this: his get off is pretty nice at 1.56. Yeah. His 10-yard is nice.
Did it randomly pick for us?
My God, it did. It did it that last time too.
Yes, it did, and it gave us a tight end. Okay, well,
of course, one of the tight ends that I have not even looked at.
No, I haven't even heard of his name. I have not heard of that guy.
Okay, well, folks, here's what we got done. Got Terrace, the big target for really that actually runs the slant in a nice way that reminds me of Sammy a little bit and can do some of that. Got Landon Dickerson, who, as long as he has a redshirt year maybe to recover while Blythe starts, I could see him being that guy for the next 10 years.
Yep.
Stone Forsythe, like Dan said, you need a veteran to come in and give him a little bit of learning curve, and then I think he'll be okay. McGrone we took because Dan loves him. And I hope that it works.
Love is a really strong word. Okay. I like McGrone. I think he's a developmental guy, but I think you can play him in subsets and get some coverage aspect out of him.
Okay.
Speedy guy, too. Sideline.
He wears maize and blue, so we got him for you.
Oh, come on.
Then we put Jacoby Stevens, who I think we both agree should be ranked higher, but if he goes in this range, I think he's a value guy that can fit into a lot of different spots. He's almost a Swiss Army knife in terms of being able to come into the box and play deep as well. Reminds me of Dan Sorensen, quite frankly. And he wore 7 at LSU, which is something that has to get voted on by his teammates, just like it was for Tyron when he was there.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, that always says something. If you're looking at LSU on their roster, the guys that wear 18 and 7, those have been voted into leadership roles by their teammates.
That's awesome.
Agundaje as the developmental edge that I like his power, and he can fit into this rotation, and it gives Mike Dana a chance to grow.
Yes.
And Marco Wilson is all upside athletically, but has kind of a hot head. He's going to have to be coached up. His technique drifts from time to time from what I saw on film. And then the mystery to me, Carrie Angeline. More power to you, Carrie.
Love it. Thanks, Kitty Ann. Appreciate it.
Bruce, I'm glad you like this, and thank you for your super chat earlier. As for all of you, thank you for your super chats. We really do appreciate the support, and we love doing this stuff. This stuff is actually pretty fun. Because Danilo hits me with guys I've never heard of, and you hit me with guys that I'm like, I wouldn't do that. So it's nice for me to
so it works out.
Right. But otherwise everybody just watch me take the same 12 guys over and over and over. So it is what it is. But thank you all for your support and your time spending with us tonight. 250. If you would click the like and the sub and the bell notification, if you're not one of us already, that will keep you in the loop with what we're doing. The draft guide should be out by Monday evening. That is my goal. I'm going to have to burn some hours, but I'm going to get it done. Thank you, Dan, for taking some slack off of me this week. And if you guys want, I know that it didn't go over huge, but we want to give you some spice about the other teams in the division in particular. We're going to sprinkle that in. Maybe we won't do it in the same format, but we're going to keep giving you some of that information, maybe comparatively with some stuff that we do. So we're going to keep that going next week. Dan will have another couple videos next week. Danilo will have one. And then once we get the guides out, I'll give you a rundown of what the matrix is. I'll walk you guys through it all because we haven't even ever done this on the channel.
Yeah.
So we'll get that done. But I'm going to go plow the road and try to pick up my kids. So you guys have a good night. Dan, she hasn't even made any noise. So I think you're in good shape.
I think she's down now. So I think we're good.
Rock and roll. All right. You guys have a great night. Thanks for being with us. We'll catch you next time.